How tall are the railings? How wide are they? The railings on the stairwells and on the walkways, how wide are they apart? Are they this wide apart, or are they open like this and a child can stick their head through playing around and fall from the floor down to the bottom? How tall is it so that someone can't push you over? You have to know all of those different things and make sure you put them inside of your actual report. You still see it right there. You gotta go up the ladder right there. I was like, you told me about the ladder before we got on the elevator. Today we're going to dive into another form of commercial field inspections, and that is hotels. Now I'm not going to go into full detail as far as everything that it involves, because it can get very, very detailed and it could take all day. So we're not going to do that, but I'm going to give you a glimpse on the inside of what you would probably be looking for if you were to actually do an inspection at a hotel. So first we're going to do the basics, okay? Just the basic info, and that is starting off with gross sales. How much money do they have coming in? And this is pretty much going to be one of those that you're going to be asking for every single commercial inspection that you do anyway. So throughout this series, you're probably going to hear me say it: gross sales. At a hotel, all of this includes room fare. How much are people paying for the rooms? If you have a kitchen and they're paying for food, how much are they paying for food? All of the different amenities that you offer where a person has to pay for, what is your gross amount of money that you report every year for your actual location? Just give me one annual, your gross annual sales. And of course, once again, for your employees. So I just said we're going to do the basics first. So your employees, if you have people who are working there, housekeeping, people at the front desk, everyone who works there, if you have a kitchen, people who are inside of the kitchen, how much do you put out every month for your employees? Hours of operation. What hours are you open to the public? When can someone actually walk up there to the front desk and actually get a room? Are you open 24 hours? Can someone constantly come up there at any time of the day or night and get a room? Or do you have specific hours that you have posted? What are your hours? Now, since we've gotten past the basics, let's just move on to something that will bring you more into the inside look of the actual hotel. Suppose the hotel has a pool. Most of them will. If you see a pool, you're going to have to inspect that. Is it gated? That means, is it closed off from the public? Do they allow the public, or is it only for the hotel guests? And yes, that is a thing, because there are hotels that will allow people to roll up and go to their pool, and they know these people are not guests or not guests of guests. So is the pool allowed only for guests? Is it gated off? How tall is the gate? You're going to have to measure that gate so you'll know exactly how tall it is to prevent any sort of injuries or accidents from happening inside of the realm of the actual pool itself. How deep is the pool? How wide is the pool? Is it marked off? Is there marks from the shorter part of the pool that tells you how deep it is all the way to the deepest part of the pool? You'll need to know that, because your insurance carrier is going to want to know. At least the majority of them do. Bear in mind, now let me just say this again. This is from my own experience and the things that I have done and the companies that I have worked for. I'm giving you the information based off of the questions that are asked of me. So, how deep is it? How wide is it? Does it have pool rules or rules posted on the wall that says strictly what a person can and cannot do? You know, no running, no diving, all of that. Do they have rules posted? Is it big enough and clear enough for everyone to see so they can't say they were not aware? Does it have preventative slip and fall surfaces? So if someone's just walking around the pool, they don't slip and fall down. A lot of them come with the groovy edges so that people don't slip and fall into the pool. Heaven forbid someone does and they cannot swim. Which brings me to the next point. Do they have lifeguards? Some hotels do have a lifeguard that's on duty. Some of them will say they don't. The last one I went to said they didn't have lifeguards, but they have cameras that are posted up on the side of the buildings right directly in front of the pool, and there's someone on the inside who's watching all the time. Now, I don't know how true that is, but anyway, let's move on. So, if they don't, do they have emergency equipment? Do they have equipment around the pool so if someone is caught up in an emergency situation, someone sees them, how can you help them? Suppose you can't swim but you want to help. Do they have emergency equipment? So these are the things that you'll most definitely have to look for when you are doing a commercial inspection at a hotel that has a pool. So now we're going to talk about the railings. And when I say railings, I mean the railings on the stairs. A lot of times, these companies will ask you, how wide are the railings? How tall are the banisters? Some of them will not. I have done this for a lot of different companies, and sometimes they never ask. But I know one particular company where they do ask all the time. So how tall are the railings? How wide are they? The railings on the stairwells and on the walkways, how wide are they apart? Are they this wide apart, which is the minimal that it should be, or are they open like this and a child can stick their head through playing around and fall from the floor down to the bottom? How tall is it so that someone can't push you over? You have to know all of those different things and make sure you put them inside of your actual report. How many floors does the hotel have? Do they have 4 floors, 6 floors, 8 floors? How many floors do they have? Because this is where the measuring of the railings will come into effect most definitely. How high is this thing? So it has to be protected, so you want to know exactly how high the actual hotel is. How many exits do they have? Do the doors open directly out, or are there hallways? How do people get out? And if they're not opening directly out, which means they have access to the outside immediately in case of an emergency, and they actually have hallways, how many exits do they have? Are there fire doors on the ends? You need to take images of all of these different types of things. Is there a fire escape in the back? All of that you'll need to get. All of that plays an important role of the safety of an actual hotel and their guests. As far as the kitchen, let's talk about the kitchen. Is there a kitchen? Some hotels have an actual kitchen where you can walk in to a dining area or some little space where you eat, and they are serving breakfast, they're serving lunch, some of them serve dinner. You have a call where you can actually call from your room and go down and pick food up and have someone bring it to you. And when you go into the dining area, you're able to sit down and have something actually hot to eat. Or do they only serve cold foods? Sometimes that's the only thing you're gonna get. You're gonna get that breakfast bar where you get stuff that's simply cold, bagels, cereal in boxes, things of that nature. What are they giving? If they have something hot in the morning, let's say grits or oatmeal, sausages and biscuits, where are you preparing all of these items at? If you're preparing it inside of some little closed encasement where there's actually kitchen items in the back, you'll need to go back there and see it. So if you ask them, do they serve food? And they say, yeah, but we don't serve such and such, such, such. We only serve breakfast. What kind of breakfast do you serve? Like, what's on the menu? And when they go to throwing out these different hot types of items, then you ask them, where are they preparing it at? And ask them, will they take you to it? Because you'll need to take a picture, okay? If it is just cold foods, you still need to get an image of the dining area, and you'll need to get a shot showing the cold area so they'll see that it's just a microwave and a little toaster oven, whatever may be sitting there, a container with a bunch of different types of coffees. They still want to see it, okay? So now, after you get past that, you'll be going into the rooms. So let's talk about the rooms. Now, it depends on the company as to whether, well, I'm not going to say the company. It depends on the insurance carrier as to how many rooms they probably want you to check based off how big the hotel is. It may say if it's over 30 rooms, check at least 2 to 3 rooms. If it's over 100 rooms, check between 2 to 5 rooms. You see what I'm saying? Some of them may not give you a stipulation at all. They may just want you to just go check a room. And if you get lucky like that, kudos to you. Okay, but when you go in the room, you are checking for the basics, of course. And we're not going into the basics because everybody knows what the basics are. Those are who are at least been doing this type of work as far as the basic things that you're looking for inside of the rooms. The same thing you'll be looking for if you was going any other place, okay? If you don't know what those are and you need any sort of assistance, you know I got your back. Go right on over there and sign up for a mentorship. I got you covered, okay? So as far as the rooms, whenever you go inside, the only other things that you're going to be pretty much looking for is things like, does the room have its own little separate kitchen? Because, you can get the suite hotel rooms, or the presidential rooms, and they'll have their little kitchen area. If it has it, you need to make sure you take a picture of it so that they can see what comes in the room. Do they have slip and fall prevention in the bathroom and inside of the tub? Do they have railings that'll help you inside the tub, outside the tub, just in case you miss the slip and fall prevention that's in the bottom of the floor? Do they have all of those things? They want you to see it so they can see it. So if you do notice them, make sure you take a picture of it. Don't just snap a shot of the bathroom from the doorway. Go inside, actually into the bathroom, and look inside of the shower and see, do they have slip and fall in the bottom, which is either going to be some grooves embedded in the bottom of the tub, or they're going to have something there that's supposed to prevent people from falling down. Do they have emergency railings on the side? Handicap is not the only people who use them. I use them all the time. There are railings on the side, and it helps you to keep from making a mistake and falling down, bumping your head on the edge of the tub, and you already know that's not going to be good. What type of flooring is it? Do they just have regular ceramic tile, or is it the tile that has the engrainment in it, and you can tell clearly it's a slip and fall prevention type of floor? Okay, the next thing that you want to look for inside of the room will be, of course, a safe. Do they have something inside of the room that will help the person who rented that room to keep their personal items safe? So in case they leave out and go somewhere, they know that their items are locked up if they didn't want to take them with them. Most hotels will have a safe inside of the closet or over in a little cubby hole somewhere, so you can actually see it there. If they have it, take a photo of the safe. And outside of that, you're just doing pretty much, like I said before, the basics. If they have you doing several rooms, each room you go in, you need to take those same photos for each room. They'll also be asking you to take an image of the door so that they can show proof that you actually went inside the room of a hotel. Now, I don't even know why all of that is really even put into consideration. I'm thinking it's probably because back in the day or something, they had an experience with someone who done said that they was doing a hotel room. They probably did a room in a house. You never know. But they want you to take a picture of the door. So that means that if you got to do 2 or 3 rooms, you're going to do the same thing. Take a picture of the door, proceed inside, get your basic images, and get all of the images that I've listed before now, and that'll take care of the actual room itself. Now, outside of that, there's nothing else you have to do except the outside, the parking lot, the roof, if there's access. Every commercial location, you're pretty much looking for a sprinkler system. If they have one and you see it, now that's another can of worms you got to deal with, because now you got to find a riser, have someone take you to it so that you can take an image of it. You're going to have to get manufacturer codes, all that different stuff. It's just a whole nother different part of actually doing commercial field inspections. That's why I tell you guys there's a whole lot more into it. So in this series, I'm just simply giving you a mental picture of what you will come to expect when you go to these different types of places. So just in case you're wondering, I wonder what all I will probably have to do, I have pretty much given it to you, except for the basics of what they may want you to do. I'll say it again. Each company asks for you to do particular different things. They may want you to take different pictures other than what I may mention to you. But outside of that, guys, that's it as far as a hotel. If you have any other things that you want to comment on and provide to the people who are watching this video, please feel free to put it in the comment section. But outside of that, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tips that I've given you today pertaining to doing a commercial inspection in a hotel. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I'll be bringing you another one back. Enjoy the rest of your day.